Lynn Good, Chairman, President, and CEO of Duke Energy. And we should mention, and I want to talk to you about this, Lynn was among a group of utility CEOs that met with President Biden at the White House yesterday about that Build Back Better plan. Also at that meeting, Southern Company's Tom Fanning, Nick Atkins of American Electric, and others. There's so many questions just about the grid and where we're going here. But Lynn, why don't we talk about the earnings first? It looks like a very positive report.
Andrew, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. And we did have a very strong 2021, finishing toward the top end of our guidance range, delivering $5.24 to our investors, and setting expectations for the future to grow at 5 to 7%. Over the next 5 years, $63 billion of capital, 80% of which will be directed toward clean energy. And we see that number growing to $130 billion over a 10-year period. So a nice long runway of capital investment as we pursue the transformation that our industry is undergoing.
And when you look at that breakdown in terms of where that CapEx goes, is that solar, is it wind? What does it look like?
The clean energy investment is in a couple of places, Andrew. Of course, solar energy, storage, some wind. Also investment in our grid, both distribution and transmission, to enable the introduction of renewables. We're at 10,000 megawatts of renewables today. We'll be at 16,000 by 2025 and 24,000 by 2030. So some of the investment, as you can expect, is to prepare the system to take on all of that renewable power. So it's a great opportunity for us to deliver returns to investors, but also make progress on carbon reduction.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about the grid. We had Pete Buttigieg, the Secretary of Transportation, on yesterday. Of course, we were talking about electric vehicles and the like. And one of the questions that keeps getting raised is whether we actually have the infrastructure in place to support the growth that we're seeing in that space right now. Do we?
I would say the bulk power system, the distribution and transmission system here in the U.S., Andrew, is very strong. And we have the ability to begin introducing and are introducing an incredible number of new resources and technologies on our system. North Carolina, second or third in the nation in solar capacity already. But as we look ahead, we do see the need for additional investment to make the circuits more flexible, to take on more electric vehicles, et cetera. So there is a lot of investment to come, but we start from a strong place. And we also know how to do this. So as we think about the future, putting the technologies and investments in place to keep going is exactly the strategic priority of Duke and the industry.
Can you take us inside the room at the White House yesterday with President Biden? What was his pitch like to you, and did you think it was well received?
Yes, Andrew, it was an honor to be there. And the discussion really centered around the clean energy tax provisions and what those could mean, not only to complement the work that's already underway that you and I are discussing around this transformation, but what it means to our customers. Because as regulated companies, when we have an opportunity to take advantage of these tax provisions, what it does is it lowers the price. And so you think about an industry basically transforming infrastructure to meet the needs of the future. If we can do so at a lesser cost, it's a winning formula. And so the discussion centered around those provisions also touched a little bit on infrastructure, because our industry is also very committed to the development of clean energy technologies that we will need in the 30s and 40s to get to net zero.